Hey folks, King Bishop here. Today I want to talk about the soon-to-come Snyder Cut and what I think of it. Now before I begin, I do kind of want to let people know that I am not on either side of the situation here. I do think that the anti-Snyder Cut people are equally just as bad as the Snyder Cut people. However, I do think that there is a monumentally big reason for why the Snyder Cut people are so passionate about the existence of the Snyder Cut. Warner Brothers had pretty much pulled a Rian Johnson on Zack Snyder after he lost his daughter by giving his movie over to the wrong guy. No disrespect to Joss Whedon personally, the guy has made some really good stuff in the past, such as Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the first Avengers movie. But his take on the Justice League definitely didn't fit the narrative style that Zack Snyder was going for. And granted, I'm not a huge fan of Zack Snyder's DCEU, like I wasn't a fan of Batman v Superman the first time I watched it. I thought it was hot garbage like Iron Man 3. But after watching the Ultimate Edition, my opinion about the movie changed immensely. However, I'm still not a fan of having Batman kill criminals. I feel like that's a concept that gets played up way too much in movies with the character. A concept that I think really needs to die at some point. Because like I said before, Batman is a superhero, and superheroes are supposed to inspire the good in people. Regardless of what you think of his fighting style and tactics, he should always serve as a symbol of justice, not vengeance. The idea of having a Batman in an alternate universe or timeline kill criminals would be really cool because it's a different character within a different context of its own. However, it wouldn't really make sense to have Bruce Wayne kill criminals, being that his whole story revolves around him being a better man than the criminals he faces. As for Superman, I never really had an issue with the direction that Zack Snyder took his character in the movie because I enjoyed Man of Steel, and I love the shit out of Henry Cavill, who in my opinion is the best movie Superman we have ever had since Christopher Reeve. Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is that even though I am not a fan of Zack Snyder's DCEU, I still like that he had actually taken the time to tell a really interesting story with these characters as opposed to just doing what the company wants him to do. Which brings me to this, what do I think of the Snyder Cut? I must say, for a movie that was scrapped into nothingness, Zack Snyder's Justice League really gives me high hopes that more good things could come out of this AT&T merger. Good things like Season 6 of the 2003 Teen Titans animated series, perhaps. Season 6 of the original Teen Titans is something that many fans like myself have been wanting for so long, because the show ended on such a huge cliffhanger that it left behind so many unanswered questions. But Warner Brothers at the time didn't really care about that and instead were more concerned about what type of demographic they were marketing to. That demographic being kids, because of course the show was originally aimed towards kids. Which is why a lot of things about the Teen Titans canon were retconned and simplified in the series, to obviously show a more fun and interesting version of the Teen Titans. It's the same reason for why Batman was the way he was in the 2004 animated series. And to be honest, I was only 10 years old when the original Teen Titans series came out. I wasn't as knowledgeable about comics as much as I am now. So of course, when it came to watching this series for the first time, I never really had any high expectations. But after checking out some of the Teen Titans comics from the 80s, it made me realize that this show was different. But a good type of different. Not different like Teen Titans Go, where they make the characters look and feel like internet memeing twerking idiots. It took a lot of original concepts from the Teen Titans comics and had built on them by making the characters look and feel more engaging. Not just with kids, but with teens and adults, which is why the show became so popular. Since 2006, it had garnered a fan base that's equally just as big as the Snyder Cut movement. But of course, hardly anyone ever talks about Teen Titans nowadays, because of how much Warner Brothers has screwed over the fans with Teen Titans Go and how much it has divided the fans. But with AT&T taking over at Warner Brothers in the arrival of HBO Max, it's possible that Season 6 of the original Teen Titans could still exist, maybe not on Cartoon Network, but definitely on HBO Max if you sign up. Subscription is a little pricey to come across, but I can assure you it is totally worth getting, because there is a ton of content to choose from. You have Todd Phillips' Joker, the Shazam movie, and granted it's not 100% legit. Like, I'm a little bit pissed that they don't have the Ultimate Edition of BVS and the extended cut of Suicide Squad on there, because those are some pretty interesting pieces of media, and them only having the theatrical versions on there was a bit disappointing to me. But who knows, maybe they'll upload the other versions right around the same time as the Snyder Cut. Because not only are we getting a director's cut of Justice League, but we're also getting a director's cut of Suicide Squad. Turns out that Zack Snyder's Justice League wasn't the only movie that was tampered with. Now, to be honest, I actually kind of have mixed feelings about David Ayer's Suicide Squad. I didn't think it was horrendous like people were saying, but I also didn't think it was great either. Instead, I always saw it as just a fun comic book movie. People say that the movie felt too much like Guardians of the Galaxy, but honestly to me, the thing that I found most disappointing about the film ultimately was Jared Leto's Joker. I wasn't a fan of the whole gangster look. I thought it was a bit over the top. I know that this movie is connected with the Snyder universe and that they were clearly trying to go for something more unique and more grandiose, but I just felt like they kind of went a bit too far with the design. Like seriously, what's with all the tattoos? And is the grill really necessary? And the fact that he was only brought into the movie for fan service is what really made me hate his character even more. But rumor has it that in the original cut of Suicide Squad, Joker actually does play a bigger role in the story. Which kind of has me wondering, how exactly did they handle Enchantress's character in the original cut? Because just like Marvel's Venom, Enchantress definitely seems like one of those types of characters that requires a lot more screen time and development in order to be fully fleshed out. But who knows, maybe they might just have the Joker replace her. But what I do know is that whatever David Ayer does with the Joker in the original cut, I'm sure will be way better than what I saw in the theatrical cut. But anyways, that's it for this video, folks. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about the Snyder Cut? Do you think that this is a bad business move like people are saying? Or are you in the same voting camp as me and think that this could possibly turn things around for the better? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, this is King Bishop signing off, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.